welcome to Love in the Time of Hydra, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. 10th anniversary podcast. Today we are taking it back to December 8th, 2015, when the number one song was still Hello by Adele, and the top movie at the domestic box office was still The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. LeBron James struck a lifetime Nike deal, and Kendrick Lamar was leading the Grammy nominations. Kim Basinger turned 62, Dominic Monaghan turned 39, and the king of 2025 comic book movies, Wendell Pierce, turned 52. But the most important thing that happened on December 8th, 2015 was the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. mid-season finale, Maveth, or is it Maveth? We're going to talk about it today. Aired on ABC at 9/8 Central. Hello, I'm Jamie Jirek, and I'm here with my co-host, boyfriend, and level 3 Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fan, Tony Paletto. Hi, Tony.
Hi, Jamie. Hello, everyone who's watching and everyone who's listening. Thank you so much for being here. Do we have a guest today? I don't really remember.
Oh my God, you know what? We do. This is our final Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. podcast of 2025, so we had to get an extra special guest. You might know him from shows like Found and Boots, but if you're listening to this podcast, chances are you know him best as Grant Ward from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Brett Dalton is here. Hi, Brett.
You look so bashful.
Quite an intro. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being here. We've been trying to get this to happen for a while now, and I think that we ended up on the perfect episode for you to be here.
I agree. I mean, I do. Spoiler alert. Die. I guess that's a good way to end it out. Yeah. Poor Ward. I remember reading that and going,
Poor Ward.
Why did it have to end?
It's kind of amazing, though, that you die and then you are instantly back. Like, they didn't give the audience any time to miss you, which I kind of love.
Yeah. And I forgot that it was in that episode because I watched it last night and I was like, no, don't worry. I come back. And then I was like, oh, I think I come back in the next episode. And I forgot there's always the tag because I'm watching it without commercials and all of this stuff. I paid for it. So, yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, immediately then we start that whole other chapter of Ward / wherever this goes. So
which we will be talking about when we kick Tony out of the room. I have to start with the most hard-hitting question. We're gonna get difficult here. Do you say Maveth or Maveth? Because Powers Booth says Maveth is how you pronounce the Hebrew word death, but I think they call the planet Maveth, and I need an expert opinion.
Well, I am very flattered that you would consider this an expert opinion. I have called it Maveth the entire time.
Same.
But also, I mean, you heard in that thing that Ward is like, yeah, I don't really care about the monsters so much. I just, I like Hydra, and I guess they're doing monsters and stuff now. So yeah, I'll go to this planet. Okay, cool.
He is down.
I don't know if he really cares that much about how it's pronounced. I don't know. It's a blue planet, man. Let's just get this thing going and let me be the top of Hydra. Let's go.
Fantastic.
Dreams, goals.
Yeah.
Before we dive too much into the episode, we always ask our guests from the show just about starting on the show. A little history. Do you remember the details of your audition and meeting the cast for the first time?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. I very much remember. It was a Saturday. And it was for an untitled Marvel project. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like everybody in the world is going to be auditioning for this. And it's a Saturday at whatever. And I go there and I'm like, well, I don't really know what to wear, but I think leather jacket and, a white shirt underneath and a tie actually, because, he is an agent, but also he can do both. Yeah. Some of it's probably in the room with files and stuff, but he's also in the field a lot.
He showed up to work on a motorcycle kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. He's still capable. And I walk in and I'm looking around a sea of people, all leather jackets, all white shirts, all ties. And I'm like, there's no way this is ever going to happen. They were running an hour and a half behind as well. And I had plans afterward because I was just become a father. And, so she's downstairs with our child waiting for me. And I'm like, it's really backed up here. I don't know. So I went in, I did the audition, First one was okay. We did a second time, and then we did a third time, and it was better. The third time was better, but I was like, I mean, I don't know if I really nailed it. I'm zipping up, finally, like, okay, I'm gonna go downstairs. And then before I leave, they were like, Brett, we're so sorry. The audio did not record. Can you go in and just, sorry, I know the third one was great, but we can't use it. There's literally no audio. I'm like, oh,
Oh,
you got to be kidding me. Okay, great. I did it. It's not that I threw it away, but I was less precious about it. There wasn't the marvelness on top. It was just like, I kind of remember what I did. I just have to throw this out and let's go. And I did it, and then we were both like, "Oh, I think that was better than anything that we did in the room before. Okay, this is great. Okay, bye." Left completely. Oh my God, that's so cute.
Sorry.
That's so cute, that cat. I mean, how can we not
Papagino
acknowledge?
cameo. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I'm a cat person, so I
yes.
very much appreciate it. I love it. Um, so yeah, and I didn't hear anything, catering at the time. I didn't hear anything for weeks. Weeks went by because they did it over, worldwide kind of search. And then they were like, yeah, they like really like you. They want to call you back in. And I heard later they were like, we were going to cast you off that tape. We had to go through all of the process and whatever, but like that tape was so good. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, you
Amazing.
don't know the story behind it, but like, I guess it was. I guess it was all right. Yeah, cool.
Meant to be. Auditioning in
Yeah,
person, the better days.
yeah, and it was great. And then once we were there too, I mean, all of these stories, they're interesting. I mean, I think that ultimately there were three other people who were there, actually two other people who were there in the final callbacks, and we were all radically different. So I was like, at this point, it's not like there's somebody who looks exactly like me, does kind of what I'm doing. It's like there's just three flavors here on the table. You're either chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, whatever you guys decide, but I'm not going to be that one or that one. I'm this one. So, and I did it, and there was this round robin. There was like six skies and three wards, and they just kept like throwing us around. We didn't get the sides for the callback. They were like, you guys didn't get them? They're like, no. Oh, our office was supposed to send them. So we're all memorizing. We have 45 minutes to memorize for the callback. It's crazy. It's a miracle that anything happens, like
Truly.
we're the
Yeah.
last end of the piece. Like so much has gone on before, and then the casting is extremely important, but it does happen at the last minute, and it's kind of a feeling, and I think they made the right choice ultimately.
We
I
definitely
agree.
agree.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Without that and without you in this role, I wouldn't have somebody to despise as deeply as I have for the past 2 years. I mean, you were such a
Yeah.
good actor, Brett. Hey, so
Thank you.
much. Ward is the biggest bastard I've ever seen. But you were so good at it. Jamie and I both viscerally love hating you in this show. And I'm curious when turn happened
Mm.
for you, was there a shift for Brett Dalton in terms of the fans of the show and the relationship with the audience?
Yeah, both. I mean, for me personally, I was like listening to different music, and I was like, oh, they don't give you much of a heads up on these shows.
We
They
heard, yeah.
Yeah, they called me in on a Friday, and they're like, great, so here's what's going to happen. And we shoot Wednesday. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay. But you can now have stubble. And I was like, okay, well, that's a good,
Because you're
that's a
bad.
step in the right direction. Okay. Um, and then I just kind of went from there. But what I do remember after that is, Ward's journey when he started, he's like the Indiana Jones. He had the quips, what does shield stand for, or what does it mean? It means somebody really wanted our initials to spell out shield,
Yeah, yeah.
There was a lot of that swashbuckling, and then it kind of got diluted. And so by the time turn happened, I was like, I'm not sure exactly who I am. I think the character sort of, they were still trying to find this, what's the mysterious past? What's this? And for a while, I was just kind of treading water. It felt like I was
Yeah.
like, okay, so can I get a couple more one-liners? Because I feel like everybody else has got a one-liner. And I swear I was funnier than this. What's happening with Ward? And they're like, don't worry, don't worry. So I think when they gave me this and the call into the office was not "you're fired," I ran with it. I was just like, thank you, Jesus. And I just ran with it. I ran with it. And I think that's to me like the thing that was so exciting about it is they threw me a curveball and I smacked it, and they're like, I think let's throw him some more curveballs. Can you play
Yeah.
an alien? Can you, what else can you do? I'm not, there's no spoilers or anything like that. But that to me is really, really interesting to me. Um, so
I
I
I
got
want to.
really lucky. Oh, and I wanted to answer more of your question. I just
Oh yeah.
remembered, I know I'm talking a lot. You guys,
No,
But
this is
that's what you're here
you
for.
kind of
No
the
one's
guest,
here to
bro.
listen to us, Brett. No one cares
Yeah.
about what we
Oh
have to
no,
say.
no, that's so not true. That's so not true. But I do remember the fandom changing because it was always, oh, Sky Ward and all of this stuff, and we want everybody, and he's a good guy underneath. And then when that happened, like people were looking at me differently on set, and I remember going through TSA too, and there was like, oh, you're a bad man. And I was like, what is happening? And at first, it took me like a couple of weeks to realize that means they care. And that means
Yeah,
they're invested. And that's the greatest thing to be. Like the heel is the best thing to be. So
totally.
I started to really enjoy it after that. And I was like, oh, I can work with this. Oh, they want
Nice.
me to be bad. You think that's bad? Watch this. I started really enjoying it. Yeah.
That's
So
fun,
it was
man.
a blast. It was great.
I love villains, always have. They're just more fun. It's more fun to watch, more fun to play. And
Yeah,
speaking of villains, you got to team up with some legends on this show. Bill Paxton, Powers Booth, who sadly they're both gone. And
I
so
know.
I just would love to just blanketly ask you about both of them, because what a amazing thing to do in your career.
Oh my goodness. What an honor that was. It was Paxton first and then it was Powers Booth. Paxton was a friend through and through. He would always answer text messages. I mean, it felt like, I love a father figure anyway. He became that to me, but I mean, sure, it happened to be in the script as well, but I felt like he was like, this is a hard worker. This is a good guy. Really got something. Let me take you under my wing a little bit. And I loved it because he's done everything. And what I loved about him is I still use these phrases, actually. He said he was collecting them all the time. And he got a chance to do a lot of these things in his whole career, by the way. But I think his dad like was a traveling salesman or something. He has these phrases that have now become part of my like lexicon. There was this one that he heard somebody else doing before, like an action sequence with a lot of shooting and a lot of whatever, and he heard somebody else say like, let's put some hair on the walls, boys. And he's like, I have no idea what it means, man, but I say it every time before. And then that's what I do too. Like, what does that even mean? I don't know. But
Oh, I
there's a
like it.
ton of those things that have now become like part of my thing. And, he got a couple of them in there too in the show, that he would just like one-offs that phrases that just kind of came out and some great improv. He was magnificent. He was magnificent. And he was the one who was also the one like, hey, this gray area is the best place to be. You don't want to
Mhm.
be black, white. You want people to keep it guessing. You can have a whole career in there. And I was like, okay, so this is great. Bill Paxton told me. So, it carries a lot of weight.
Yeah.
And then, Powers Booth was just fantastic. The amount of authority and power he had in his stillness was just beautiful. And I saw, my God, that guy's uh, uh, career as well. I was just watching Tombstone and I was like, oh my God, look at
Yep.
that. Look at that. I mean,
He's
he's
amazing.
all over the place. Yeah. And speaking of villains, I mean, he doesn't have to do much. He just has to give a little bit of a smirk and you're like, oh, he's a bad guy.
He
Okay.
brings it.
Yeah, he really does.
Yeah.
You are our
So
third
great.
guest in a row to bring up Tombstone, and I have shamefully never seen Tombstone, which is surprising for the amount of films that we watch. So I think that we
Wow.
need to watch Tombstone very soon
Let's
because
watch it soon because I'm also a huge Western person,
yeah,
and
mm,
it's weird that we haven't watched Tombstone
I
Yeah.
feel guilty about it.
There are some incredible performances.
because Bill
There
Paxton's
are
in there too, right?
yes.
So
Yes, he
it's
is.
Bill Paxton and Powers Booth.
And
So
Powers Booth, exactly.
yeah.
Wow.
And
All right.
there are some incredible performances. The female characters were not quite as fleshed out as you would like them to be. They kind of conveniently enter when they need to move a story piece forward. So there's a little of that where I'm like,
Yeah.
but it's a beautiful film. It's one of the better westerns out there, I think. So
It's what
yeah,
my acting teacher would call a ball clanking Western. So that's really what
there you
it's
go.
about.
Yeah,
Cool.
but the performances kind of elevate it. You
They
know,
do.
you're like, I still believe these guys, and it's I mean, it's fantastic. It's
Coming in
fantastic.
Patreon
2026,
Tombstone
Brett
Yeah.
and
episode.
Tony's Western podcast.
Let's bring it back. Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Loving the time of the Western.
Yes.
Sorry.
We obviously have a million more questions for you, but I do want to shout out everyone in our chat. We've got a
Yes.
pop-in live chat going on. I'm sure you guys have questions for Brett. Save them for when we kick Tony out so that we don't have to go through the minefield of spoilers. Tony, I'm sure that we have some newcomers here today that found us from announcing Brett. Will you explain what's going on? What's this podcast about?
Yeah. So this is Love of the Time of Hydra. We talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episodes on the 10th anniversary of each episode. Jamie's seen this show countless times. His life has been a fan since it began. I'm watching it for the first time. So I have only seen this show up to season 3, episode 10, Maveth. And so if you want to talk about anything beyond that episode in the comments, just put spoiler alert in there, and that helps protect me from getting spoiled. Helps protect people like me, hopefully, who are watching this show for the first time and using our podcast as sort of a companion piece to it. So yes, just tag spoiler alert. We'd really appreciate it. And that brings me to a very special story time. Brett, it's story time. I hope you're ready. Okay. So far in the legacy of this podcast, I have been really well protected. I think a couple of times somebody let something small slip and I kind of wasn't able to really compute it or whatever, but so I've been doing pretty good. People have been really doing a great job. A couple of years ago, Jamie is an entertainment journalist and she was going to conduct an interview with you for Found over the phone.
Yes.
So she's going to talk to you over the phone. There were people doing yard work in just outside our window. So she literally talked to you on the phone sitting in her closet with the door closed in our bedroom. So I could hear the whole conversation.
Oh.
And she says, "Oh, of course, I'm a huge Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fan, so I have to bring up Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D." And Brett Dalton, you said something to the effect of, "Yeah, I mean, I died like 5 times on that show." So yesterday afternoon, when I watched Clark Gregg crush your chest, I was like, he's fine. Because
In
he died
cold
about
blood.
5 times on this show.
Yeah. Well, here's what you don't know. Jamie and I have been collaborating. This is a long play. Okay. So we planted those seeds
Smart.
way back then because we knew that this was going to come back to fruition. And here we are. And so do I die 5 times? Is it 15? Is it 1?
Is it 1? It's the Grant Ward deception in play now.
I know.
Oh, love it.
Tony, how did you feel when Clark Gregg, in cold blood, becomes a murderer?
I thought it was really interesting. I appreciated how decisive it was, and I appreciated that there was no real gratification for him. It felt like something that he just kind of had to do and couldn't help himself, and he allowed himself to do it. I think it's going to have some pretty serious ramifications. I don't think it is very consistent with Coulson and his choices and behavior and his leadership. But I didn't feel bad for you. I told you,
Wow.
you're a menace.
Wow.
Okay. Well, I have some thoughts.
Go on.
Do have some thoughts. Well, I mean, don't feel bad for me. Okay.
I didn't feel bad for you, Brett.
Well,
I felt bad for Brett because his character just died. I didn't feel bad for Ward.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, first of all, buddy, you're first. Okay. I'm sure.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Defend yourself.
Okay. That if you're stuck on a planet
Mhm.
And your only way out is that is the what are we calling it?
Portal.
The portal
Yeah.
is about to close. You have the scientists telling you we have to go now. Hold on, I just have to deal with one thing that's not gonna matter
Yeah. Yeah.
because he's stuck. Why would he do that? To
Ward,
me,
it's all your fault. It's
What
all it took was your new daddy to say, I need you to go into the portal, and you went, didn't
true,
you? Yeah.
Yeah.
true. But here's what I really wanted and why I think the subtext at least I was playing.
Okay.
I wanted to die with a smile on my face. Like, yes, Coulson. Yes, Coulson, kill me. Now you're the villain, aren't you? Now you have to live with that. So now, like, the cycle is complete. What happens on Maveth doesn't stay on Maveth. It goes right back with you,
It
my
sure
friend.
did.
So
And I'm
you go
concerned.
right. Yes, exactly. So you go right on ahead with your little robot hand there. Okay, you can leave it right behind if you wish. I don't care. You're gonna live with this, sir. And that's what at least there I was trying to
I like
play
that.
because he becomes kind of enlightened. The stuff that he's saying is like, what is happening to
I
you,
do really love
sir?
that. I do love that. What I like about your relationship with Maveth, when you get there, you see this totemic Hydra dilapidated thing, and I very much understand Ward's like sense of like I'm home. Like this, it was always going to
Mm,
be this. Like
mm,
this is
yeah.
no matter how this ends, this is my ending to some extent. So I liked how you were playing. That was how I interpreted your behavior in this place, and your
Mm,
reverence for it, and your lack of concern, because it was like you're cresting out of something. It was what it felt like,
yes.
and I like
Yeah.
that very much.
Hmm.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Maria, I
I
hope you
mean,
clip that whole
hmm.
conversation. That needs to get put on the. That needs to go somewhere. Woo,
Yeah.
I have
Ah,
feelings.
yeah, yeah. I also loved their reunion afterward. It was in slow motion. When they
Oh,
finally
it's
do come back from it, it is so
beautiful
touching.
scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a
Mhm.
beautiful scene, and that's where what I feel like elevates the show as a whole. I remember the first time something like that happened. It was episode 6 or 7 of the very first season where I jump out and it was silly, guys. Me saving.
Where you jump out of the plane and save
Yeah,
Yes.
Simmons?
it's
That's my
amazing. That's a
favorite
top
Yes.
tier
episode.
episode.
Yeah.
Performance wise, maybe that particular effect and the fact that my hair didn't move. Um,
Don't remember that. I remember the feelings. Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's good because
Yeah.
afterward, when that happened, I remember the producers talking to us as a group and saying, that is what this show is. If we can do that, that is why people will tune in every week. And we did that on this episode. And to us, in the filming so far, that is what it's about. It's not about the toys. That's cool. It's not about Lola. It's not about superpowers. It is about this team and family and having each other's backs in this crazy world that we happen to inhabit. Sure, fighting for good, but also fighting for each other. And that's what I thought was really beautiful. And what is in there, and probably every episode, actually, and why I think it's a cut above the rest. That's all.
It's
Yeah.
it's why it's so rewatchable to me. Like I've probably
Mm,
seen every episode, especially the early seasons, like 10 times, and I still cry. Like it really gets me.
I
It
can vouch
really
for
hits
that.
me in my feel. Yeah, I do.
Mhm.
I am easy. I don't cry a lot in real life, but put the TV on, I'm just like a
oh,
mess.
oh,
It really gets me.
and the
But I
soundtrack too, like all of it. I know it's just
Bear.
it's
you
beautiful.
know,
Yeah.
I wanted. Did you know that he had a bigger orchestra for this episode than normal? I read. Did
Oh
you know?
I
wow.
did
Like,
not.
yeah, the music for this episode was like especially grander. He's a top guest I want to get on here too. That's like one
Mm.
perspective we haven't had yet. Music, and it is. It's an unsung hero of the show for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I think all sat in on a session or two just because it is a pretty magnificent thing to watch everybody do all of that.
Yeah.
And it's great. And there are also I'm not a music guy, but he will tell you all of this stuff, like different instruments for different characters as well.
Uh-huh.
When you get that deep into the woods, I'm sure he can tell you all this stuff, but all I know is that it just works.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, it
always
does.
works,
100%.
and everybody is so good at what they do. It's incredible.
True that.
You brought up the emotional scene where everyone's coming together, which is again a beautiful scene. You spent seasons 2 and 3 though kind of away from everybody. Was that just because everyone talks about how close the cast is and how much you all loved each other? It had to have been kind of hard to not get to see them as much.
Yeah, that is a very good point, and it did start to happen once I turned bad. I mean, yeah, it was like, oh, what did you guys shoot today? Oh, that's cool. I can't wait to see that. Oh, that's great. But then Bill and I were having so much fun on our own that it was also like, I have a new friend now, and I really like him. He's
Yeah.
great. We have a lot of fun. We're kind of bad boys here. It's fantastic. But yeah, like, lunches together was like a little bit different, in completely separate worlds. And then when it came to season 3 in particular, I mean, Ward's just on a warpath, I think, I
Yeah.
think it season 3 the one that stars and he's driving this Jaguar and he's just like,
Oh yeah,
Like weaving in
Yeah.
between.
yes. There's a guy on the
Yeah.
car.
That's
That was
exactly right.
Gary Brown. We've had him on the pod, and he talked about filming
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Care Bear. I
Yeah.
know. I was hoping because he directed this one as well, correct?
No, this was
Am I wrong?
Vincent Misiano.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. I swear he directed another one. Maybe it wasn't that. Gary was always, I mean, he's one of my favorites of all time. And we still keep in touch. But yeah, I must have been confusing something.
He did. I
But
mean, he did the second unit for nearly every episode, so it's hard
yeah,
not
I
to,
know. I know.
and this one was written by Jeffrey Bell, who, because I'm a very big fan of Angel, the crossover of
Mm.
Jeffrey doing both shows. Do you remember specifically working with certain writers, and was it ever like, ooh, this person writes the best lines for me, or anything like that?
I remember them all being consistently good. I think, was it Craig Titley?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Who, it might have been Craig, or the one that I loved the most was called Tracks, season 1,
I
episode
Stan Lee.
That's up there for
13.
us. Yeah.
Stan Lee's
Oh
in that
my,
episode.
what is
Mm.
with that episode? Moves like a train. It involves a train.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh man, and it's got this kind of energy to it. He would shoot so far away. We would do like a walkthrough rehearsal, and then we weren't even sure if the cameras were rolling, basically. And sometimes we'd go 2, 3 times, and then it'd be like, okay, we got that piece, we're moving on. We're like, oh, but it wasn't quite as stodgy as the wide, medium, close, where the cameras are, the lighting. It had this movement to it, which I thought was great. But the reason I bring that up is because they gave me an entire scene where I'm trying to turn on the holotable, and I was like, this doesn't even move the plot forward. It doesn't do anything other than, I think, give me a chance to like have some fun. And there is a take out there that's, I think, like 6 minutes long. You give me, I'm like a farmer. Like if you say to milk it, you better get ready for like gallons, bro. I mean, truly. And so that's kind of like what they wanted. I gave them way more than they ever needed. That to me is my favorite thing. I collect those bits too, especially little bits of like physical comedy. I never get a chance to do them. I do them in real life as often as I possibly can, and annoy a lot of my friends. But like that to me is just absolutely my favorite. And yeah, I do remember that. They were all consistently good. I remember that one in particular because it gave me just a little bit like, can we like Ward a little bit?
Give him some
I
humanity.
remember,
Yeah.
yeah, and I remember like prior to scripts coming out, they would come and say, especially if you want details about the next script, you talk to the fight coordinators because they need to know kind of first.
Mhm.
But those guys would always come up to me and like, oh, we got a great scene we got a great episode for you next time. Yeah, what happens? What happens? Do I have some cool scene? Do I have some like one-liners? You get to fight 6 guys in an abandoned warehouse. Okay, What else happens? They're like, I don't know. There's a couple of things, and this, but, and then the next one, it would be like, oh, we got a great episode. Okay, cool. What happens? Like more one-liners or like a great scene, an emotional scene. What are we doing? You fight 12 guys now. This time out in the desert. Okay, cool, man. But
Character development.
Yeah.
yeah. So that's the kind of stuff that I like. It's cool to do all of the action stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's very fun, and it's its own world. And it's like, honestly, like that's B camera, that's unit 2. That's like you put some hair on the walls. What can I say?
Put some hair on the walls, baby.
Yes.
We're putting that in our lexicon too.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
100%. We will be saying
Yeah.
that a lot. That's a great segue into the fight you have with Clark in this episode.
Yeah.
Which there's a lot going on. You also like push Ian down. I assume that wasn't Ian that
Hard.
fell. But like, I'm sure there was a stunt guy in there.
There
But
was a
there's a
stunty,
lot.
yeah.
Yeah, but there's a lot going on, and I love the fight that you have here. How much of that is you and Clark?
I do all of my own stuff. They do a pass. I mean, truly, because I can do it. And I remember times when like I didn't quite have it down, and the my stunt coordinator and I were working in our driveway in order to get the like boom, 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 and then this happens. Okay, great. But like, so I put in the work. I think most of that was me. It was so daylight dependent. I remember on that
Yeah.
day in particular, one of the last things we shot was that overhead shot of Ward dying. And we're looking over the mountain and we're like, see that right there? And it's going down, down, down. That's our end of day. It's like
Yeah.
right there. I think we have about 2-3 takes for this, and that's it. And I think that it was hard. It's funny you should say that you really like that fight sequence. I was like, it's hard to show movement when you are handcuffed. It doesn't look that cool, I thought.
Sure.
It looks a little weird, but
the speed at which you got your hands in front of you instead of behind
yeah, that was
you
pretty
is
cool.
a
That
good-
was actually me.
pretty
That was
slick
actually me.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Nicely done.
Yeah, I try.
Hey, it's
Pays off.
impressive. This is a great time to. So when we had Elizabeth and Craig Titley on recently to talk
Yes.
4,722 hours, they talked about filming in
Oh.
Simi Valley and how awful it
Yeah.
was. And for them, it was like everyone got sunstroke. And was it as bad when you did it? Because I feel like it was a little later in the year, not quite as hot,
Yeah.
probably.
No, it was not. It wasn't that bad. I mean, look at all the dust. Like, you're gonna go home and shower, but the sun wasn't that bad. Yeah, we had a lot of stuff, but I mean, that was such a beautiful episode, by the way. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Love that
can we
episode.
just
Yes.
like, and for
Top
them to
five.
take a swing like that, yeah, for Shield to like make that character now have a whole episode, beautiful. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. There was enough shade. There was this, that. The stuff that sucked was they had these giant wind fans that they were doing, and you couldn't really see. So you're not acting, by the way. Like, you're saying lines, but you're like, I'm gonna have to do that in ADR. There's no way that this can actually pick up what I'm saying, and I can't really see anything, and you're not really sure where the cameras are, and you're just kind of doing your best. It all comes across,
Yeah.
but it wasn't that bad. And I remember in that rock quarry too, I found like a geode, and I brought it back for my daughter, and we cracked it open, and there was
Cool.
like, yeah, little quartz.
That's
inside, so
awesome.
it was awesome.
Has your daughter watched the show? Does she watch anything you're in?
Yeah,
Oh,
everything.
Cool.
I know.
That's
Is
awesome.
she mad at you as
By
we are?
choice, by the way, because there are times in the plane where like she's watching her dad on TV, and I'm a little embarrassed, like, okay, like I'm forcing her to watch all of dad's stuff, and I'm like, no, guys, I'm not. She loves Agents of Shield, and
Yes.
the way the kids. I mean, she watched it when it came out, but didn't quite get it, and there were certain things that were kind of scary. No spoilers, so I won't say anything, but there's some special effects makeup that was just like kind of like weird, and she thought it was creepy. But as a young adult, she watched it, I think when she was 11 or 12, like recently, and loved it. And not only that, she was texting me all of the inconsistencies. She is so good at noticing continuity errors. For instance, when we are playing season 1 Battleship, the pegs are completely off. That is not how you play Battleship. And it was after one of the episodes, and I think it's just a little tag or something like that. I think I'm playing with Ian or something, and it's about like, oh, how Ward's got a great poker face. Okay, cool. But the ships themselves, I think, were on the top screen. So if we're looking at a computer, it'd be like on the top screen. They're meant to be on the bottom, and your
Oh
hits and misses
yeah,
of the
you're right.
opponent. Right. So it
That's
doesn't
funny.
make sense. And she had a list of all of these things. And I was like, you are brilliant, kid. She did
Wow.
the
I'm
same with
Love
Found.
that.
oh,
Yeah.
She did the same thing
Yeah,
with
we
wow.
went
Found.
on and she's like, that's where that happened. That's where that happened. And do you remember this? I was like, babe, I mean, I'm on the show and I don't have a
Uh,
mind
So
like
are you going to
yours.
start making it a habit to speak to the script supervisor on
yeah, I
every
was gonna
production?
say
Just be
this is
like,
the
I need you to
future
be
script
on
supervisor.
point.
I'm gonna run
Yeah.
this through my daughter and I'm gonna get back to you guys. And if there's an inconsistency here, yeah, she's
Oh,
very good. So
Love
that's
she
that.
really funny.
loves it. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
that
cool.
makes me
It's
happy.
wonderful.
That's really
Yeah.
cool. And you when we were backstage before we started the show, you talked about rewatching this episode,
Hmm.
and you talked about how like it's good. Like you're not afraid to say like it's really good. And you said some cool stuff about it and what it's like. And I always like to talk to actors about rewatching your work because I know some can't do it, and others see it as a learning opportunity. What was it like specifically for you just sitting down and watching this 10-year-old work that you did?
Um, well, I'll never be that young again. So I mean, part of that was like, well, okay, yeah, well, you know, uh, there are parts that I would do differently. I mean, I don't love watching my own stuff either. I tend to watch like literally one time and then that's it because I just want to see kind of the world that it's in. But I am not a good person to watch anything that I am in with. I'm watching it like through here and I was like, oh, and then this happened. And then they used that take and it's just, but everybody else I think is brilliant, and I love to see how it came together, but I hate most of everything that I've ever done. There are moments in there that I liked, and there are other moments too. And it's funny you should bring that up. There are other moments too where I'm like, I would do everything differently. I was shot in the chest, and I don't really take that into account too much. Pretty cash, pretty
Okay, but
cash.
I think that's I wrote this in my notes. I'm like, that feels very Ward to get shot and like not react.
It did feel that way to me as well. Like
Okay.
he's that kind of hard ass. And
That's
like
exactly what I wrote. Like, so badass.
yeah,
I I appreciate that. I mean, I had a conversation with the person because it's like, look at his language. He is like enlightened. He is something is happening where even that doesn't even bother him.
totally.
Whereas before he might have a strain, but I had zero strain in there. There's
Mhm.
no indication that I am injured in any way, shape, or form other than something on my jacket. I wish I would have done 10% in there, and I
Okay.
think I could have done both. I could have no, been an injured person, and maybe that would have made me even more uh, optimistic about the future. Maybe more like blue cloud thinking, like I might even die here, but I tell you what, I'm not going to die a broken man.
Mm.
Something has clicked inside of me. That would have been cool. But I'm looking back on it and going, oh man, oh, there's that.
Well, what you did plays really well, but I understand what you mean and just being like,
Yeah.
if only.
Yeah.
If only. And that's
Yeah.
always how it is. I mean, there are very few things that I see and I like about my work. So yeah, but as a show, it holds up so much. And I was so happy to be a part of something like that and that it ran 7 seasons. I mean, were we the last of its kind outside of the
We talk about
Dickworth
that a lot.
universe?
I say that constantly. Like,
Crazy.
Mhm.
I don't think there'll ever be another network show that I love as much. And
Yeah.
it bums me out. It really bums me
Oh,
out.
oh, I know. And I do think that the show itself like really found its way not out of the gate. Pilot was fantastic, but not necessarily out of the gate. But then it really didn't put a foot wrong once it did. And I think at that point, it's hard to get people to rewatch or reinvest or anything. And if they already made their opinion up about the show, convincing them, no, but it's really good is harder. We had consistent numbers. I just wish it would have like grown because we were doing such good work. And I'm such fans of everybody on that show, not just the cast, but like everybody who poured it in. And there was team player stuff. There wasn't like ego stuff. It's like everybody's gonna have a fight sequence. Everybody's gonna look silly in front of the green screen. Everybody's gonna have questions because we haven't read every comic book that's out there. But we are here together, and I think we actually did really like fall in love with each other, like as a team. And it doesn't
Totally here.
happen later in my career. I'm like, oh, it doesn't happen on every show. Oh
No,
man,
no, it
It
doesn't.
is
if
beautiful
only I
hearing
would have
like
known.
everybody, like everyone we talk to, no matter what department they worked in. It's really
Mm.
something special. And we saw you recently because we were at Jed's show at the Troubadour.
Yeah,
And what was so beautiful about that, like we kind of hung back because it was like a reunion. It was like a family
oh,
reunion.
I
And
know.
so which like normally I'd be like, "Hey," but this was like it was like we accidentally stumbled into a family barbecue. And it
Yeah,
was really
totally.
Totally.
like it was cool how like just how many of you guys showed up for Jed. It was really beautiful to
Yeah.
see.
Truly, truly. And it's just kind of it's not like we're not doing that, I don't think to be in anyone's favor or whatever. I mean,
Mm,
because we could all just say like we were busy. We do that because we like genuinely love each other. And from the very first season, especially Jed and Marissa, they were like on-set mom and on-set cool uncle. That's what it was. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's the dynamic. It's like, yeah, we have that position, like the producer, the EP or whatever, but our offices are right down there, and you guys can hop in whenever you want. We would play basketball in the little room and stuff, a little basketball like this big on the net, and
Mhm.
and have kind of a competitive game. Like these were people that we could talk to about anything, even if it was like annoying actory shit. Like, was I good in that scene? Or like, what I wanted to do was this. I mean, it's like herding cats. Like, I don't envy anybody who has to like deal with actors. Like, I get it. I am 100% one of those people, but also like, hopefully, like a good sense of humor about it. Um, so yeah, of course we would do that. Of course we would do that. That's so cool that you went. And
Oh,
I'm so glad too that so many people are available to do this. My goodness,
It's been
like
great.
you're
yeah.
getting everyone. You're fishing, and
Oh,
you're
Totally,
catching
man.
everyone. You're
Well,
bringing
we're doing our
everyone into
best.
the boat.
you and Elizabeth and Clark, like you guys doing this validates us a little bit. I mean, it makes us more visible,
Mhm.
and so people will be like, oh, Brett Dalton was on. Well, oh, it must be legitimate. So that helps us
Yeah.
considerably. So thank you.
Well, I'm truly happy to be here, and it's such a cool conceit for the show as well.
Yeah.
That super fan and somebody who hasn't watched it yet, and I hope that you're enjoying it. Hopefully,
Very
you're
much, man.
level 4 at the
Coming up on it.
Almost.
eventually.
He's
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
we it is almost time to kick him out, but a couple more things about I do want to ask about this
Yeah,
specific
please.
episode, and one is that some of my favorite scenes ever in the show is when you're working with Ian, because like it's just always so tragic. Like it's so sad what happens between these two characters, and everyone always like Ian is just like he's so mesmerizing, and I especially love when he's playing off of you, and like this
Oh,
is kind of like it all comes to a head kind of in this episode specifically. So that's just my segue for you to just talk about it, talk about that
oh my
relationship.
goodness. I mean, from the very beginning, Ian and I were so close that the producer, I remember a couple of the producers saying, you're supposed to be in love with Sky, right? And I was like, yeah, I know, but can we please just like have an episode together? I think we got the comedy of like big and little, of like the
Yeah.
stalwart man of few words and somebody who just kind of gets under his skin and
It was
and
like that
desperately
that
wanted.
Russia episode was
When you
very
throw him a
much
Yeah,
like
sandwich, like
yeah.
like so
Oh
good.
so cute.
my
You guys are
goodness.
adorable in that.
Oh, and we loved every second of it. I mean, I feel like he was like 1 second away from doing like a nose boop on me or something, where I'm just standing there, just like, and then he goes in, boop.
Cute.
Um, yeah, yeah. I love this man to pieces. Yeah, and we we love each other so much. Um, I think he's also like one of the I one of, if not like the best actor on the show. I mean, never a false moment. He brings it every single time. And there's kind of like nothing he can't do. He even goes and becomes kind of a villain. I don't know. Again, Tony,
Shut up, Brett.
I will say I have not watched every episode after I was killed off. It actually became a little painful for me to watch everybody else on the
when you
field
get killed
I
off,
winning the
understand.
you were
game.
such a pest. Okay, all right.
And what I mean by that is in the very last episode of the very last season,
Oh, sure.
when I say killed off, I mean had a rap party for.
Oh, that's what you meant by killed
Yeah.
off. Okay.
Yeah. And I didn't want it to get this
It
is hard
sounded
to
like
do,
spoilers, but
Jamie.
I'm relieved to know that it wasn't. So
Who knows?
Correct.
Brett,
Yeah, Jamie, this
Brett,
is hard to
Brett, he's
do.
lying.
Yeah.
He's telling the truth. Who can say? There's no
Again,
way to
remember,
know.
we planted these seeds a year ago, so you don't know what's
Mhm.
true and what's not.
yeah, no, we've
Yeah.
just been the long
Yeah.
con, man.
Yeah. Just wait till the dinosaurs come in.
I can't wait for the dinosaurs. Great. That's something to
Oh,
look
heck
forward
yeah.
to.
Goodness. And the
Oh
whole
my gosh.
Decepticon
Oh,
Autobots.
the crossover.
The
Wow.
crossover that happened. Guys, it's morphin time. I tell you.
It's morphin time. Jamie, can I leave the room or do I have to?
Yeah.
Nah, I mean, just pull it all in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing
Everything
happens.
Brett said today has been a lie. I'm pretty sure he hated the whole experience.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Before
it's
Tony,
Maveth.
Maveth.
Yeah, I lied about that too.
yeah. Tony, I just want to give you an opportunity. Is there anything specifically about this episode that you just wanted to comment
Yeah,
on?
I'll quickly just kind of give I really like the episode. I'm really proud of Mac. I love Mac in this leadership role. I love a reluctant leader, especially when they have a moral compass like him. I think I like Joey a lot. I like that he's melting bullets out here. I think he's really cool. I hope we continue to see more of him. And I'm really concerned about a Grant Ward with an incubating brain slug that makes him impervious to bullets and shit. Like, I'm seriously stressed out about that, because if Ward is still he's like a zombie, but I'm getting the impression that he's going to be just as physically capable as he was without being a zombie, and it's harder to kill him. And Powers Booth got exactly what he wanted by bringing the original spirit alien entity of Hydra to our mortal plane. It's very disconcerting, and I'm worried.
Tony, I have two words for you.
What?
It's morphin time.
Figured that's where we were going.
Oh God.
I think that is the point of that tag, actually, to make you worried, because
Yeah.
What does that mean? We just saw him possibly his chapter come to an end, but wait, there's more. So I'm glad that you're feeling that way. And I love what you said about Mac too. Oh my God, he's so good.
He's really
so
good.
good. Yeah, everybody. So okay, all right. Well, it will be interesting to see your thoughts.
A zombie Ward ride a dinosaur.
Yeah. Ooh, wow. That's amazing. That does happen. Tony, do you want to just say some quick thank yous before we kick you out?
Totally. So I'll say thank you to Stephanie at Eclectic Muses on socials for doing our artwork. Thank you to Ryan Miera of Yellow Pills at Yellow Pills Music on Instagram for doing our theme music. Thank you to our producer, Maria. Thank you, producer Maria.
You're welcome.
Also, producer Maria, you have a question. Can you ask it?
Oh, yes. So a couple years ago, we did one of your Hallmark movies for our Patreon episode.
Oh, Brett, can you not hear her?
No.
Oh, no.
Wait, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, weird. Okay, I know what she's gonna ask you, so I
Just
will
repeat
ask
it. Yeah.
So we on our Patreon we do a holiday episode every year, and
Cool.
Which meant we have covered some of your Hallmark films, including One December Night. And
All right, see you later.
No. You got to work with Bruce Campbell, and Maria just wanted to
Yes.
ask you about working with Bruce Campbell, because that's pretty awesome. That's like that's another cool person to work with.
Oh my God. Haven't I been so lucky in my career? I like, truly, I never take it for granted either. Like, these guys I'm fans of,
Oh, yeah.
and I do have to sometimes when I'm working with them remember to act, because I'm just like sitting there and go, oh, and then he did this. Oh, that was a good choice. Oh, how does he work? Oh, great. I mean, I'm like a fan, watching an artist work. It's beautiful. What was it like? That guy is so goofy and so silly. And I loved, this was his first Hallmark film. This was Peter Gallagher's first Hallmark film. And
What a
both
guy.
of these old guys, I know, I should not call them old guys. Some of these veterans, legends, were like, you know, you have to have a sense of humor, I think, doing a movie like that has points that it is going to hit, and we all know it. And so we are trying to do our best within that sandbox. But we know where the sandbox is and the world we're playing in. And so, yeah, there was a lot of, us doing a version of it and then doing the version that you see.
Ah,
Um, it was great. I mean, we fell into it so much. Like, we look alike. And also like his sense of humor and the way he like kept it really light. I remember the first thing that we did was shoot something. It was Peter Gallagher's coverage, and then they're like, we're gonna cut and go again. And then he's like, yeah, I didn't like that one either. I mean, he's talking about Peter Gallagher's work. I mean, but it was so funny. It was so funny, and I could not stop laughing. He had me in stitches the entire time. So I just loved every second of that. Yeah.
awesome.
Beautiful experience.
It's a fun one.
Yeah.
Before that is actually okay. Before we kick Tony out, that is a
Mhm.
good segue because I do have to make our little announcements of what's coming, which is
Yes.
as we said, sadly, this is our last Shield episode until March, which
Until
is
March,
crazy.
yeah.
March, you guys had such big gaps. But we got fun stuff cooking on Patreon. December 21st, our annual holiday episode. We are taking a year off from Hallmark, and we are going to be watching a very Jonas Christmas movie starring one Chloe Bennett. And our guests are going to be my best friend, Jake Farrington, as well as producer Maria, because she's a little younger than us, which means she knows the Jonas Brothers. We're a little too old, so we need producer Maria to be our expert on this topic. Can't wait. And then if it's only $1 a month, guys, to join Patreon, and we are going to be covering Agent Carter season 2 in January and February before Shield comes back. So that's that business there. Thank
Only
you, Tony.
$1 a month?
That's
Oh
correct.
my goodness. Tell
you,
me more.
Brett.
I'm writing this down.
Yeah,
Go
Mhm,
ahead.
Get on there. Get on there.
it's a
Oh,
steal.
I
What
mean,
You can listen to us
Li-
talk about Hallmark Christmas movies starring you.
yes, go
Merry
back.
Gallagher.
Christmas to all of us. That's incredible.
Oh,
That's
thank
incredible.
you. Thank you for that endorsement. All right, Tony, I need you to get the fuck out of here. Leave.
I
right
gotta
now.
leave the room, Brett. We
Go
love you,
away.
and we love to hate you. Thank you for
Yes,
being here.
thank you very much. Okay, bye, Tony. Bye,
Bye.
love
Bye,
you,
Tony.
love you. Okay. He heard me. Okay, all right.
I'll make sure he knows.
Yeah.
But finally.
Good
No.
man. Yeah.
That was fun. Watching you guys talk was like a little surreal for me. So I enjoyed that very much.
Wait, Jamie, he said
Hmm?
that he could hear everything in the closet.
Yeah.
Where is he going right now?
We lived somewhere else. That was a
Okay.
different. But he does go outside.
Okay.
He sits out, which it used to be fun for him because he used to be a cigarette smoker, and now he
Mhm.
has to sit outside with nothing to do because he quit this year. So, I know
Well, good
it's
for
rough.
him.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. With an
It's
incense or something.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
struggle.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. All right. So we gotta talk about Hive a little bit. Obviously, they put you, Brett. They put you
Yes.
through the ringer. We need what
They
did
did.
they douse you in like syrup or honey? What did they do to you?
Oh my God. Listen, that was based on this this artist who took these incredible photographs of people drenched in honey. It looked beautiful. The way honey catches and throws light, it looks like amber. It looks really beautiful. And so they're like, this is what we're going to kind of try and do. On the day, they were like, hey, here's what we have. It is I want to say it's a coagulant, but it's not. I think it actually does the opposite, but it is like a seaweed-like material that they use in milkshake. And so it's supposed to be organic and whatever. And they're like, okay, so this is what we're going to do. It's going to be awesome. And don't worry, we're going to heat it up. It's going to be like fine. It was not heated up, but that's fine. This is not a problem. The problem was I needed to then get up and do. I mean, I was looking at like Terminator 2 Rebirth, like when he comes onto the planet and Schwarzenegger does the slow rise up in the chain link fence. It's very cool and very iconic. So I'm like, okay, great. So he's being reborn. I kind of want to do something like that. And I did, but the problem was that stuff was so sticky and slippery that I almost fell every single take. I mean, if it got under your feet, which it did, because we could only do this once and we could just kept adding. That's all we could do. They pumped in some smoke for the bodies, the little bones we call the meat puppets around us. And I tried to do the slow thing. And then by the time, so they could do that drenched um shoulders down, and then they're like, now we're going to do here. And I'm like, okay. Once they started pouring, I can't see anything because it'll drip from the brow onto the cheekbone there. And so I can't really see anything. So they're telling me like a little bit higher, like the camera's a little bit higher. We can't quite see your eyes and whatever. And then you can see they finally shoot kind of underneath. But look, that's one day in this guy's thing. There was prosthetic stuff and to make my eyes look more sunken in and my chest cavity look more sunken in. I think that I started to finally have fun with it once like that was all out of the way. Like, can we just juice this guy up? And then once he is, then it became fun. But prior to that, he was very sickly and very like couldn't move. And it is kind of a monotone thing because you're playing somebody who probably didn't get riled that much because he's been around forever and has been, worshipped as a god on another planet. So I don't think, oh, Fitzsimmons have entered. I don't think that's really going to ruffle his feathers very much,
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a whole new
Yeah.
dawn.
Yeah.
People are wondering. So Ward dies. You immediately are Hive. Did you how? But I know that in the production that changed a bit.
Mm.
How did you know? How what was the space between knowing Ward was going to die and knowing you were instantly coming back?
Oh, same day.
Okay, so you didn't have to
Yeah.
like mourn
No.
anything quite
They
yet.
did put a pause between those two bits of information, though, just to let me squirm a little bit.
Oh no.
You know, yeah, this was the second time being called into the office, and they're like, "So, Ward is coming to an end," and I
Ugh.
was like, "Oh no!" And there was just a big pause for, But the good news is, you're coming back as, this other thing, and I'm like, "What? Truly, I really mean this." I felt like parts of Ward were clicking in a way where it felt like I could fly, like Mach 3. Like, where are we going? I think I understand. And an episode later, like the one before this, before Maveth, I was like, something about that clicked even deeper. And then this happened. So I was like, yeah, okay. Well, I do like a curveball, so let's see. And there we go. And
The
then transitions. Yeah.
two episodes we often name an MVP, and 2 episodes ago we were like it's got to be Ward because that's when you hijack an airplane, like you fall through the ceiling and like just like doing
Oh,
all this
oh
badass
yeah, that
stuff.
was
Yeah,
sick. I remember.
yeah.
Oh, that was one of my favorite episodes of all time.
Mhm. That's
Oh, I
like the
remember
Ward
that.
episode for me. Like
Oh,
you just got to do so much cool stuff.
oh my goodness. I know. It was incredible. And then he gets on the speaker, right? Welcome to Hydra Airlines
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something like that. I'm like, he didn't need to do that. They didn't need to
No,
write that.
what a freak.
Boy, is he enjoying his time right now.
Oh,
Like literally flying high. Yeah.
I love it. A lot of people in the chat are asking this, and I was going to bring it up. So one thing that like Tony is convinced that
Mm.
Ward's going to get a redemption, and it's cool because he doesn't. And the with the framework, the framework is my favorite arc of the series. It's so cool, and it's what's so great is that Ward gets this clean, fresh slate, being a good guy without the baggage of the past, and in a way that like you get to
Hmm.
do this whole new thing where no one's like mad that about it because of all that. I don't know. I think it's the smartest
It's
way
a
they've
really good
ever
point.
brought you back, and I'm just curious how that was for you, and like as an actor did it feel freeing to get to do this like new version of him?
Um, That's a very good question and a very good point that you're right. I mean, the baggage doesn't have to come in there because who in their right mind would forgive after all of that stuff? But if it's in a virtual reality world, like, hey, well, you only exist here. We know you, and let's believe in the goodness. And look, it seems to be there. That part seems to be there. Um, so that's a very good point. But your question was, how did it feel? I was just happy to be back on. I mean, truly, it was great. You could have made me even worse. You could have made me even better. Yeah, I mean, I could have been a janitor. Like, oh, this guy really looks like, isn't that weird? I would have done anything just to come back, and I did, and they gave me this really fun thing. I wish they gave me some more time for the physical transformation because I had not done any sort of working out. And they're like, yeah, by the way, you are coming back and you have like 10 days. And that's probably the best I could do. But outside of that, yeah, I was just happy to be there. And I think what's interesting too is having done all of the the whole journey, Ward's whole journey everywhere, it didn't really feel like, oh, this is just, a good guy who always saves the day, like classic season one Grant Ward. There was so much underneath it that it kind of I don't know, that was all kind of like baked in there. Like revisiting that character, but then also having him on the side of good and fighting against an organization that had taken over the entire world, and fighting within the system. It just felt like he made better choices this time. And I thought, that's really a beautiful like thing to play. And that was all there before. He was just making like kind of the wrong choice. Like every door, where it was door one or door two, it was like every time, no, no, oh, and then oh, no, 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 no. Well, here we are, door number, 11, but
Yeah.
you made all the wrong choices. Yeah.
I love how I think it
So
might
it
be
was
Chloe, but
wonderful.
like somebody is like always the double agent, even if it's for the good guys, which I
Yeah,
love.
yeah, 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 yeah. I know.
um,
I get that a lot in future work too. Whenever
mm,
there's just like just a question mark on it, as soon as I'm there, I'm like, they're like, yeah, I don't really trust this guy. So I don't know.
well, Brett, thank you so much. This has been so
You're
much
so
fun.
welcome.
Everyone had a great time in the chat. It's been popping. I just want to give you a quick chance to just a blanket anything else that you wanted to say. I want to tell everyone to watch Boots on Netflix. The amount of people that have texted me, Brett is in Boots. Have you watched it yet? Like people are loving the show.
Oh, again, how lucky am I to be a part of a show that was on Netflix top 10 for like months practically. I mean, truly, and to work with Vera Farmiga, oh my God. I mean, just truly. I just found out that Found actually is being acquired in some fashion by Netflix. So you can watch it January 2nd, all 35 episodes, which is like astonishing because we may not get another season. We are not getting another season, but we are getting at least another chance for some additional eyeballs that might not have been on it to now see it, which is really wonderful. Yeah, I mean, I guess just a lot of love to you, what you're doing, this thing that I got to be lucky enough to be a part of, but also it could have just kind of, continued to be out there. But I think you really are doing such a cool thing by shedding some light on it. And it's just pure enthusiasm. Like
Thank you.
truly. I think that's how you get more people to like, if you're genuinely a fan, I think other people will be like, I don't even know what this is, but like I'm gonna go and watch it. So it's really great. And I feel like also the thing that you're shining a light on is really worthy of a rewatch. And it should be. A lot of work went into that from a lot of people in a lot of different departments. And I think we had something really special. And, it's only really special if people watch it. So thank you very much for having me on and for
Oh,
doing what you're doing.
what a pleasure. Thank you again. Happy holidays. Don't forget,
Thank you.
everybody,
Happy holidays. Yeah, of course.
$1 a month
And $1 a
Patreon.
month. Oh my
Oh, it's such a
goodness.
good deal.
Oh, incredible.
Everyone in the chat, thank you again. If you're not on Patreon, we'll see you in March. And
Absolutely.
have a good day. Goodbye.